presenter number 7 now, Dr. Peter Koval from Australian Catholic University with the title Managing Emotions in Daily Life. When you're ready, Peter.
Our daily lives are coloured by emotional experiences, both negative and positive. And for the most part, our emotions help us. They help us to navigate through our complex worlds. But they can also overwhelm us. And it's this power to take control of us that sometimes gives emotions a bad rap. Yet by the time we're adults, most of us are able to resist getting carried away by our feelings. In fact, our ability to effectively deal with and manage our emotions is integral to almost everything we do, from our social relationships, our performance at work, and of course our physical and mental well-being as well. So how do we do it? How do we manage our emotions? What strategies do people use? And are some strategies more effective than others? Over the past couple of decades, researchers in the emerging field of affective science have started answering these questions, and they've made some important discoveries. And these discoveries are being used to try to help problems such as depression, anxiety, and other forms of mental illness, which are thought to involve problems or deficiencies in effectively dealing with our emotions. But there is a slight problem. You see, most of this research, the vast majority in fact, has been done in places that look something like this. This is a typical psychology lab. Participants might be brought in here and sat in front of one of these computer screens, showed pictures or films which are designed to elicit emotional responses. If they're a bit less fortunate, they might even be hooked up to something like this during the entire experiment. Or, worse still, wheeled into a narrow, dark tunnel to have their brain scanned by a super high energy magnet, all while they're experiencing and regulating their emotions as they normally would. Now, of course, I'm not criticising these studies as being useful, informing our science of emotion, but for most of us, this does not resemble anything like what we encounter in our day-to-day lives. So, together with colleagues here and in Belgium, we've been trying to venture outside of the laboratory and into people's natural environments. Using a technique called experience sampling, we ask people using smartphones to indicate how they're feeling at multiple points throughout a normal day in their lives, and also to indicate what kinds of strategies they're using to deal with or regulate their emotions, such as distracting themselves from their feelings or thinking over and over about their feelings. We've used this information to answer two basic questions. First, how often do people use different strategies to regulate their emotions? And second, more importantly, are some strategies more effective than others in actually changing how people feel? So here's what we've found. This graph shows how often people reported using each of 6 different strategies, which you can see listed down the bottom below the horizontal line, in the course of a week in their normal daily lives. Now, a surprising finding is that the last 2 strategies, changing one's perspective or talking with others about feelings, were used least often. And these are strategies which are central to many psychological treatments. So our data suggests that people may not be very well practiced in using these, and they may need additional support in trying to implement them. Even more importantly, we looked at how these different strategies actually impact changes in people's emotions in their daily lives. And here you see, again, the 6 strategies listed down the bottom. Bars going up indicate increases in emotion, and bars going down indicate decreases in emotion when using each of these strategies. The positive emotions are shown in blue and the negative in red. So what you can see here is that the first 2 strategies, thinking over and over about one's feelings or hiding one's feelings, avoiding the expression of them, are particularly detrimental because they're associated not only with increases in negative emotion, but also decreases in positive emotion. It's not all bad news though, because as you can see, the other 4 strategies were actually associated with increases in positive emotions. So we can try to encourage people to use strategies such as distracting themselves or talking with others when trying to make themselves feel better and deal effectively with their emotions in daily life. Now, these findings provide crucial insights into how people can effectively manage and deal with their emotions, not just in controlled settings like in a lab or a therapist's office, but also in the more complex and chaotic environments that we encounter in our daily lives. And of course, it's precisely in this context that we need to be able to effectively regulate and deal with our emotions. Thank you very much.